Okay, I downloaded your ring. I'm not sure where you were going wrong with the booleans. They just work. I'm not entirely sure what the issue is with them, but if I grab them together and just do a BU, they just work. Alright, so not sure. Anyway, that's besides the point. While I was in there, I had an idea came to me. Alright, because fitting jackets into rings is something that's quite an annoying job to do for some people. So what I've done is I've taken your ring, I've extracted my, I've duplicated that edge over there. Let's do this. I've done a dupe edge along there, a dupe edge along there, okay, and then duplicated that edge. I've used the two of them to sweep a surface, okay. I'm going to hide that surface again. I've assigned that surface to Grasshopper, and I've extracted an ISO curve on that surface, and I've pulled its points around more on that curve just now. Alright, so I'm going to turn off your ring for now. All the information we require from the ring has been taken. And let's put a jacket in there made up of, it works pretty well no matter what you try. We'll start with a circle for now. Okay, and I'm going to put that circle into Grasshopper as our target geometry. Set one curve, and what you're seeing come up here is iteration of the paneling tools thing. So now that we've got it out there, let's turn your geometry back on. Okay, so now you've got all these little guys arrayed so they fit between your curves and flow nicely over that surface. The beauty of having it in Grasshopper is there's a couple of things we can change now. We can change the number of them in there, in both the U and the V direction. Okay, I'm going to put less of them in actually. Sometimes less is more. No, less that way. Okay, and then you can also change the thickness of them. You can have them more hollow or less hollow. All it's doing really, it's offsetting the curve over there and extruding a solid out of them, so you can play with it a little bit. You can also adjust the overlap, because some patterns you're going to use are not going to quite touch each other, so you can force them to overlap on the grid. This effect thing we'll chat a little bit about just now. What else can you change? Also of course the height of it, you know, how deep or how thin you want it. And of course it's going to stop dead exactly where it needs to, inside of your shank inside there. So let's play with the, well, let me hide this quickly, or let me turn that layer off and explain to you what the curve was about. Oops. Okay, that curve is what's called an attractor in Grasshopper. So it was a straight curve, and I'm going to show you what happens when I play with the effect button in here. I'm going to change the effect that attractor has on, so the curve will attract what's in the grid. So let me set the attraction quite strong. So if you turn on that curve's edit points now, and you grab this one and you pull it this way, you'll notice that the circles try to move in the flow of the curve. Okay, so let's try and move these ones all the way over there, and you'll see that so if you had a pattern, if you had enough of these small circles, let's add a few more of them, you can force it to graduate in the direction of your curve. Let's make the effect more pronounced so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so you could essentially force it in any direction you wanted. Okay, for now I'm going to turn the effect off because I'm still busy playing with that. I'm going to put less of these guys out there and just show you how some of the other things work. And of course, because you're being so gracious about me letting you use your geometry, I'll give you this script. Alright, so let's go. As soon as you delete that, obviously it's gone. Okay, I'm gonna, I don't know, what shape can we try? Polygon? Heart. Let's do a heart. Best way to start a heart is with the circle. Turn on its edit points, pull those two straight down, pull those all down, and you have a heart. Voila. Okay, remembering of course that because this is Grasshopper, if that shape's not perfect, just come in and edit the point. So I'm going to give it this curve now, So there's your curve, young fella. And we now have hearts flowing around the ring. Okay, I've set the obviously the angle on the tool. Where is my offset curve? Parameter for the curve. Let's set it to sharp. Thank you. Alright, and if we take the thickness down a bit, we have a more sort of hearty looking heart if you want. And if you're not sure that the bum of the heart is in enough, just press on F10 and pull it down. When you let go, they'll all adjust. Okay, so for a pattern like this, you'll probably be wanting the rotation angle there, something like that. Alright, so now we can take the size up. Where is our size again? Overlap, not the overlap, we want to put less of them in here. And less of them that way, oopsie, 3, maybe 4, I don't know. Alright, let's turn your ring back on. Yeah, it's quite a handy little tool. So, and of course the other thing to remember as well is because it's based on the surface that was in there. Let's show that surface. Let's turn off that layer. Alright. If we grab this surface, let's rebuild its points to, that's a bit too much there, 8 and 8. Okay, that'll rebuild. But what that allows you to do now, if you press F10, you get the curves for the surface. And you grab, say, all these ones here. Oops, let's grab all of them there. And let's say scale 2D from F4 in this viewport, and you can bulge them out. So now your surface has got a bulge in the middle. You'll notice that, of course, your geometry now also has a bulge in the middle. Okay, you may want that for some other reason. You may want it to bulge downwards. You may want this to have a comfort fit inside there. How it's useful, I'm not entirely sure, but pretty damn sure you can figure out a way to make it useful. There's that damn surface gone. Let's turn off that. It's because the edit points are on. Okay, so let's hide that. I like to have them out the way so I can see what I'm doing. Alright, anyway, so give me you or Jason, give me a shout on Skype and I'll send you the tool. Okay, cheers, Chris out.